Hello, welcome to Business My Way. So I decided to change it again, and so from today, the weekly Business My Way is going to be on Mondays at the same time as it was on Wednesdays. It's just a bit easier for me to do it, and so here I am. Oh, hi, Lily. Welcome. I didn't expect anyone. I actually didn't tell anyone that I'm changing because I literally just decided it today that it will be easier for me to do it on Mondays. These are the days I usually not doing much running around, and most of the online calls are not happening on Mondays. So here I am. So today's topic is I'm not really sure how I'm gonna name it, but I'm just was writing my weekly newsletter to my mailing list, and it's basically like a general way of like having a business, running a business, having a sense of what that is. And I think I'm gonna come up with a title when I'm actually done, because I was writing and it seems like it's a really long thing to write, especially in email, to actually explain what I actually mean. Like over the weekend, I watched a TV series called Mythic Quest. I forgot the long title. Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. I don't know if I even pronounced it correctly. So it's basically it's like a comedy series about a bunch of people who, not bunch of people. There are always a bunch of people in TV series. They're basically people who they have a gaming business. They create and develop and build an online game called Raven's Banquet, and it's basically all the like a backend stuff, how the game is developed and how what actually involves, not from a programming point of view but from business point of view. And I never actually kind of online games are not really my kind of things, even though I actually sometimes play it on my phone, but it's not very often. And it was quite interesting to see how it all works. And well, I don't even know whether that's the whether how it actually happens, but it's basically showed me a different like a business model. When I grew up, my dad used to have a not he still has a business and he still runs it, but it's always been it wasn't something I actually liked the way he does it, because he was never really home. He was working long hours and money wasn't really like for the amount of hours someone puts in, the money wasn't like we weren't like millionaires or anything. We always had money, but it wasn't like. And at the same time, when I see other people doing business that they are bringing in lots of money, so it's mean like there is something different with the business. So let's put that aside. And then for a few years when I was living in UK, I used to work at a big corporation, a financial corporation. So I saw how that business is run from the inside, and and kind of perception of having your own business and running your own business. Kind of these two things kind of shape the way it is for me. And even though I've been kind of in the business I'm doing now for, I would say, about 6 7 years, but I actually probably like consciously started to doing it like 2 years ago, because before I was like doubling. I wasn't even considering that I have a business. And so while watching this Mythic Quest, I see how they develop ideas, how they kind of run different projects, how they, even though it's not that sophisticated, that show, it's basically a comedy when people get into the weird situations and how they get out of them. It's like a sitcom type of thing. And but what showed me that I think it's probably the acknowledgement that you can have fun running your business, and you can actually run business the way it works for you. Because there's a bunch of people as well. Some of them know what they're doing, some of them don't know what they're doing. And they basically, it's almost everything is like trial and error, trial and error. But at the end of the day, they still kind of come together. They have their problems, they have their successes, they have these things, and they created, and they have their egos, and they have their like laughing moments and all that sort of stuff. And it's really showed me how, because I had an idea that you can your business have to be either serious like big corporations, everything is a system, everything we do it this way because we've been doing it for a really long time that way, and there is no other way. And then there is other side when you have a hobby and you don't really run it as your business, you run it as a hobby, and there is no really a system, there is no really there is no really structure, there is no all these things. Like you don't have, like when you're running your own business, you don't have a financial department, you don't have other like a production department, or I don't know what other departments there are apart from financial department. You don't have HR because you basically do everything yourself. And if you have like other people working for you, you're not going to create whole department just from one person. If you have two or three or five people in your team, everyone is going to do something, everyone is going to probably do everything. There's not going to be one person who is uh, doing your finances, there's no one person who is going to do your purchases and stuff like that. And so basically, what I liked about this Mystic Quest, that it's kinda because I've been like like Simone Milasas has this book Joy of Business, and I really kind of never understood the concept of that. It was all like, okay, it's just like a nice idea, but business is not that way. And then you have a choice: either you run it as a hobby or you run it as a big corporation. And it's almost like there's no middle ground. And when you kind of realize that you can actually, that business doesn't have to be certain way, that you're actually creating the way it works for you. And at the same time, it's not always joy and fun and games. It could be at at the beginning when you just let's say if you're turning your hobby into some kind of money making scheme, and you first like let's say you are creating some crafts. You basically at the first you're actually gonna go to the market, you talk to the people, you're having fun, you sell something, but you're still having your day job. And at the same time, once it gradually builds up, you are actually gonna need to have some kind of system to kind of hold it into the place. So you're kind of control of everything that's happening. It's not like you're micromanaging, but you're kind of in control. You're aware of all the pieces, bits and pieces in your business, and you realize where it's everything is required. So there is this moment when you go from being a hobby business into actual business. And another thing where I noticed that really well, one of my guilty pleasures is what's the it's another series, but it's a reality TV show, very cavalry. It's about the lady who she what's her name? I forgot. I'm not really good at those TV series names. She's basically the actress from The Hills, which I've never watched. She's married to the ex-football player, and she's running her business. It's called Uncommon James. That's I remember. It's a business about she sells jewelry and accessories and things like that. And as well, seeing how she does it from, because it did start as a hobby and it turned into like she's opening shops and in different locations and things like that, and seeing how you can have fun and joy in your business. At the same time, you have to have this energy of, it's not the seriousness, it's not the, it's, I think it's more like being committed to your business and doing whatever it takes to create. I'm still not really 100% sure, but it's something between seriousness and it's not really the same. And yeah, it's like it's really hard to like put it into the words because I'm kind of be like just literally looking at my own business because there is still element of where I'm doing it as a hobby business because I really like doing it, and there still have like, even though I know what I'm doing, I like creating online classes, doing consulting sessions, doing VA services, helping other people to create this, but it's like there is this sense of it being more as a hobby than as a business. And only like in the last week when I started to do today I start 90 days social media marathon, and I created this social media calendar where I put all the things that I want to put in my on my social media accounts, and I kind of started to look at, because hobby you run basically you want to create something today, you do it, you create it, and like people like it, you maybe sell it, maybe not, maybe you gift it someone. But when you look at the business, and especially this 90-day social media class, it's kind of facilitating me to look into the future and plan these things that are coming, uh, like uh, like the different celebrations that are coming. What things are you gonna put out for those? Like this on Sunday is International Women's Day, and so for the last months I've been kind of thinking what could I do for International Women's Day, and kind of that idea developed into that every day starting today I'm going to be celebrating different women who inspire me to create different life, create more for myself. But as a hobby, you don't really look at these things. As a hobby, you just do something you enjoy and you do it once and you do it twice. But when you have a business, you're kind of committed, you have a customer. When you are creating something for your business, then you have to make sure that you have kind of regular stock, either it's services or it's a product or it's or anything else. I don't know what else you can do with the business. Or when you are an actor, for example, you can go like auditions and do one here, one there, and you never really plan what's your future is gonna be like with that. But if you are actually really committed to that, make it work and have it as your business, making you as a business, you will have to look what's in the future. And to have that, you have to be aware of all these things that are coming. You have to be aware how much money you are bringing, especially if you are hiring people and you want to have more in your own life. You have to start think about these things, just not just for today but for the future as well. And yeah, it's really as well, how to say, interesting. Yeah, yeah, what else can I say about this? So basically, yes, you have to, well, it's, I think that's the kind of topic of today, probably, is like creating for the future, not just for today. And that is a kind of difference between doing business as a hobby and doing business to actually create something greater for the future. And because the hobby potentially has a future of one day. Like, I like doing something today, I try it, okay, I like it, maybe I will do someday, or maybe I won't. But if you have a business that you want to have a future for next 5, 10, 100 and 1,000 years, it has to be different. You have to be different. You have to look at that thing different. And this is, yeah, this is what I actually been looking as well for me, because I never really look what I'm gonna be requiring in my business in next 2 3 months. It always has been what's this month. What are my expenses this month? What I would like to create this month, and it has to change, because yeah, being committed to your business and to your future and to yourself, because in a sense you don't really have any other options. Yes, you have a choice there. I'm not saying that you don't have a choice, and if you're creating business you can't choose something else. But when you are in this moment of, I don't really know where I'm going with this anymore. When you're committed to business, when you're committed for it to be in the future, there is no really, uh, it's almost like life is kinda putting you into the I don't want to say right, into the correct. If you're just doubling in your business and you're just making it as a hobby, your life is gonna go one way, like one day here, next day there, and you're not really have this kind of uh, movement forward to something different. But when you are committed to something, that, let's say, you're gonna create this every day or every other day, and you're gonna create this like far into the future, your life is kind of putting you or yourself, I don't know really know how it works in the linear way, but it kind of puts you in the on the tracks, on the rail tracks, because and it basically kind of moves you forward, and the awareness comes and information comes for you to stay on the track. The track can change, you can there can be like a fork in the road, you can choose another road, you can go there. It doesn't mean like if you are put on the track you always stay on track, you can't look right or left, you're just gonna move forward. And life is gonna give you all these awarenesses and information to build that. Because if you are creating just for the day, the awareness is gonna give you awareness you're gonna get is whatever is around this day. But if you open it up, if you open up yourself and your business, then even like your business has a room to breathe. Because if you make it small and just for today, just for this month, your business can't breathe. You kind of kill it. It's almost like it's on its last breath every single day, every single month. Especially with micromanaging as well. if you don't let it breathe and be as big as it can be, it's actually going to stay where it is. And yeah, okay, I think I don't really have anything else to say. So yeah, so what are you creating for the future? Are you creating your business for today or for the future? You have to create for today and the future, because you still want to have business today, not just in the future. Because if you're creating something just in the future, you're always going to move forward, and that thing is always going to be in the future. So yeah, what can you create today that's gonna be for today and for the future? It comes with the money, comes with the clients, it comes with the awareness, consciousness, whatever you are actually creating in the world. Because if you're creating your business 100,000 years into the future, you can't create just money just for today, or you can't just do it for the money, or you can't just do it just for yourself, just for me. And when you have this, the greater future you build your business in, the greater money can come into you, the greater clients can come to you, and your life can be greater from that. So I'm gonna leave you today with this. Just look at your business and see, are you creating for just for today or just for the future? And as well, you can have joy and happiness and fun in your business. It just probably looks different than you have imagined it to look. Because for me, it's definitely that. And this is something I'm going to be looking as well more and more, because for me, it's kind of new concept. Even though I kind of knew that, but it never kind of clicked. It never kind of was, yes, that's the one. And I never really saw how it looks. So, so what can you create today that can create greater future for you and your business? And I'll see you soon again. Bye bye.